Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host pin when finished. Press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions,
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
I don't know, Johnsons. I don't know. Let's go. Woo. Wow. What up, what up, what up, what up? What's up, people? What's up? How we doing over there? How's it looking? All right. My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Wow. Okay. What's going on? Let's get the phone number up. All right, phone number's up. All right. 319-527-6212 is the number you dial into if you want to talk tonight. What is happening with Pat? All the Johnsons in the house. Johnsons. Wow. Got to cut the air off because it makes noise, but then it's hot. So it's crazy. What you going to do, Johnson? You can't win. So let me get up to my people here, man. Who's in the house tonight? Who's in the house? Let's check out YouTube. YouTube, what's going on, y'all? Tough. See, I got to set you up. Wow. Oh, it didn't change the name. Oh, I forgot to change the title. My bad. No, it's not for kids. My My bad. Got to change the title on that thing. Welcome to the live chat. Remember, guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Corny shit. Community guidelines. Here's a community guideline. I woke up today to a copyright strike because somebody wants to copyright strike me for the for the background set I used back in 2013 for a software movie clip that I purchased online with a license to use as a background for my videos. They hit me with a copyright strike. Then asked me to take it down and say, hey, Mr. Black, it's almost 8 years later, so I know you probably don't remember this. You don't even use it now. But back in 2013, you used this. We own the rights to it now. Could you take it down? They didn't even do that. Just hit my channel with a copyright strike. And that is after being up all night working on that Bill Burr video. Anybody seen that Bill Burr video I just put out? I'm sure you haven't. Because YouTube don't give a damn, Johnson. Nah, why would they share my content? So, which is to my other points, you know? So I got this, so I'm like, okay, so now I have to counter, right? Notify these people and then had to write them and ask them, would they remove the copyright strike for shit I purchased? I don't even know how they got the rights to do this. I keep all my receipts, Johnson. I got a receipt from 2013 for this software, and I have the original file that I got from the software company that still works, the graphics company that's still in business today. They have to wait on them if they get around to feeling like they want to stop fucking with me. And if they don't, we will come for them. We will all ask them very nicely, won't we, folks? Wolfpack. You spend money on stuff, then other people just claim it. They don't have to. See, the game is rigged. The game is rigged, Johnson. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's rigged. You think back in 2013, I wanted to buy a background set, spend money? But no, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy this. Sure, I could go on a website and probably pirate it, but no, I'm going to buy it. Because I'm a grown man and I don't have time to play games and I don't want trouble in the future. Who wants trouble? I don't want trouble. So I shut out the little bit of money I had, very little bit of money I had doing this, and purchased what I needed to purchase to avoid problems. And still, 8 years later, here they come. They don't care. The game is rigged. It is. I was off 3 hours sleep. I wake up. I get a notification. I can't go back to sleep. I got to deal with this now. So if I'm a little cranky, you know why? Not to mention I was up all morning working on this Bill Burr video. Yeah, because every once in a while, I want to put a little effort in my content because no one else does. I figure it'll separate me, make my content stand out. But it doesn't make my content stand out because YouTube won't share it. Because the game is rigged. You got it, folks. You know it, the game is rigged. We don't care if you spend 8 hours on that. No one cares. Oh, an intro, an outro, graphics, animations, who cares? Just talk like this. Just sit in front of the screen and talk like Don Lemon. Go ahead. This is what they like. They don't want the advanced culture. They don't want the genre to excel. They just sit in front of it and talk like this. Better yet, whiten your skin and then do it. Then they'll believe you. Hi, my name's Tim Black. I went to white schools. I know what I'm talking about. Please believe me. I am credible. This is what the genre wants. It doesn't really matter because if you're independent And you're not hooked up with the network, you're screwed anyway because the game is rigged. That's it. The game is rigged. Oh, I'm sorry. I have no positivity. I have none. I'm all out of positivity. It's rigged, folks. It's rigged. Now how I know it's rigged? I'm not an idiot. That's why I know. I look around. I listen. I read stories. Jeff Bezos to the moon. To the moon, guys. To the moon. And you know there's lots of people that would love to criticize him, but you know why they don't criticize him? You know why they don't criticize Jeff Bezos more often? You know why? Now put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that because I know one person who criticizes him a lot. But put a pin in it. Why do you think they don't criticize him? Because this will take me to my first story. All right? Check this out. Bezos awards Jose Andres and Van Jones with $100 million. Yeah, that's why you don't criticize them. Woo, mama. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Jeff's writing it off, and they're enjoying it. Celebrity chef Jose Andres and CNN political commentator Van Jones are the first two recipients of Jeff Bezos' new philanthropic award, giving both men $100 million. $100 million. $100 million. Now, they can put that towards any charity or nonprofit of their choice. They can't keep it for themselves, but they can give it to their friends. Yo, Van, that stuff I said, man, well, I ain't a nonprofit, so I guess it don't matter. I'm out of the running. But see, this is why. Hush money. Hey, shut up. Don't say mean things about me. Here, shut up and take that. Hey, you, shut up, take this. Write good things about me. Take that. Here, it's a write-off. Take it. I got it. Take it. Shut up. Take it. Take it. The game is rigged. Bezos introduced the initiative dubbed the Courage and Civility Award. Courage and Civility. Courage and Civility. I got the courage part, but I don't have the civility part. After completing a successful trip to the edge of space on a capsule and rocket developed by his company, Blue Origin. The billionaire founder of both Amazon and Blue Origin said the award is meant to recognize leaders who aim high. Aim straight, aim high. You can be tall like this wall and play some basketball. Yes, yes, y'all. And those who pursue solutions with courage, who also do so with civility. Type of bullshit, man. How you gonna be courageous and civil at the same time? Talk about living in your bubbles. How you gonna be courageous and civil? Fred Hampton wasn't civil. Having courage doesn't make you civil. How you gonna be civil and courageous? Oxymoron. It takes courage to say, hey, get out the way, I'm gonna do what needs to be done, and get out the way, and you go do the thing. There's no civility in it. Just gives him ability to deny others and have a little loophole. He built a loophole into his award. Just in case somebody says, hey, why is he only giving it? Well, these people are more civil. Are you civil? Remember that time you played the loud music? in your bedroom. That time you played loud music, they could hear you outside, you know. You weren't being civil. Remember that time you had your pants hanging down a little bit? I saw your underwear. That's civil. Remember that time you wore a mini skirt, lady? Hey, that's civil. Always gonna fight it. Remember that time you did the thing with the thing? Jones is the founder of Dream Corps, a nonprofit focused on bipartisan solutions for criminal justice reform. I know that Jan Jones is going to do something amazing with that $100 million. I don't know what he'll do yet, but I bet he knows, but he doesn't know what yet, but it's in your hands. However you're going to do it, it's going to work, said Bezos. It's going to work. Okay, Jones delivered emotional remarks upon receiving an award in which he thanked Bezos for betting on him. Bezos then announced the second recipient of his new award, Andres, who is a celebrity chef and the founder of World Central Kitchen. I'm so honored, really grateful for this award and the incredible support from you, Jeff, from the entire Bezos family. World Central Kitchen was born from the simple idea that food has the power to create a better world. Boy. I always say that I believe in longer tables, not higher walls. So you know, Jeff, let's go and let's feed the world. That does sound nice, doesn't it? It sounds civil. Yeah, I got a couple of things going on in the hood that could use your help there, Jeffy. Couple things going on might use your help. How about a down payment on that reparations thing, Johnson? Or how about, I don't know, ending world hunger? Or just start off by ending homelessness in like a couple of U.S. states. Yeah, you can do that. You can do it, you can end it. Boom. Bow. And still be rich as hell. Still be so rich, no one who's ever going to be, would ever wear the Bezos name, would ever have to work again. But you won't do it, because the game is rigged, Johnson. The game is rigged, Johnson. Some rigged shit, all right? Moving on to more rigged shit. See, a lot of people, when we're talking about this history being taught in the schools, they're like, that's divisive. No one cares. That's because you don't read. Okay, I get it. There's a lot going on. You know, you're doing your thing. Who has time to read and research this stuff? I get it. You think it's just the Democrats that are bad. I know. Because they're the ones that's been fooling you the most. You know, who you gonna get mad at? Your friend who betrays you or the person you never knew who doesn't give you respect? The friend who betrays you. That's the one that had a covenant with you, right? So I get it. What you got to understand is that both parties suck, Johnson. And to prove my point, so it's crystal clear, look what they've done in Texas. This is Texas, Johnson. The Texas Senate bill drops teaching requirement that the Ku Klux Klan is morally wrong. Yeah, see, before, they wanted the students to know that KKK was a bad thing to be a part of. Not anymore, Johnson. Not anymore. Yep. Yeah, they passed a new bill. Check this out. The Republican-dominated state Senate has passed a bill to eliminate a requirement that public schools teach that the KKK is morally wrong. The cut is among 24 curriculum requirements dropped from the new measure, along with studying Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, the workers of the United Farm Workers Union, Susan B. Anthony's writings about women's suffragists movement, in Native American history. Yeah, see, most people didn't know. They thought it was just the blacks. It's women, it's Native Americans, it's the farm workers. Yeah. Civics say the state is promoting an anti-civics education. That's Senate Bill number 3, guys. They just passed this. See, while you were chasing your tails about CRT, this is what they were setting it up for. This is what it was all about. Because they know most people don't read. And they know most people won't pay attention. Most people are going to run on the culture war shit. Meanwhile, it's not even, they want to make it illegal. I think they did. They eliminate the requirement of teaching the history of white supremacy, included but not limited to the institution of slavery and the eugenics movement. Yeah, well, they try to get rid of blacks by making us sterile. And removing our, forced abortions. Yeah, but why would you need to know that? That's not important. Yeah, you want to stay ignorant, right, Texas? Texas doesn't need to know rules or history or reality. Hell no. They can listen to Alex Jones or Joe Rogan talk. Right? See, if you thought you were going to be able to get to the kids. Oh, I remember when I was coming up, everyone kept saying Generation X, right? They kept saying, man, this is our chance. Oh, all the racists are dying out. There's a new type of white people coming up. Yeah, that are more knowledgeable, that understand race, understand the problems, and they don't want to be like their parents. They want to make it a better country. Yeah, we're going to move beyond all this bullshit. We just got to wait a little longer for the old racists and the bigots to die off. When they're gone, man, we good. First of all, they don't die that quick. And second of all, they make sure their kids stay ignorant. So the kids are the ones in the comment sections going, why you need money for reparations? I don't understand reparations. It makes no sense. There's no slaves. You weren't a slave. They weren't a slave. They weren't about to be a slave. Why? So why? Why? Well, why do you need money? What's wrong? I don't even know what redlining is. What's a red line? I like red lines on the sidewalk. What's wrong? What a letdown to find out how jacked up this country really is, Johnson. I'm sorry, man. You thought it was going to be nice and cherry chipper Tuesday. Fuck that, man. Seriously. That ain't what time it is, man. They're taking out a requirement. Like if your parents don't tell you about the evils of the world, things that were done wrong, things hard, like the shit you don't want to hear. If the schools don't tell you, like algebra, shit you don't want to hear. If the schools don't tell you, how will kids ever know? Parents got other things to do. Got to go make the money, have the affairs, put tires on the car, change the oil, do meth in the bathroom. Parents are busy. They don't have time to be teaching the kids. It's worse than we thought, Johnson. Way worse than we thought. The new bill echoes language from last month's law that bars teachers from requiring students to develop an understanding of the 1619 Project, which calls for a far more profound examination of the significance of slavery in American history. How could a teacher possibly discuss slavery, the Holocaust, or mass shootings at the Walmart in El Paso or at the Sutherland Springs Church in my district without giving deference to any one perspective? They want it neutral. They want you to talk about slavery but be like, So yeah, they split up families, and they sold off siblings, and they cut stuff off people's bodies, and they raped the women, and yeah, and raped the kids. Most of the kids died before age 2, starved, while the black women nursed the white women's babies, but couldn't nurse their own. But we're not going to talk about that because there's also a good side of it. You got to teach the good side of it. They were employed. Yeah, employment rate was like 100%, Johnson. Make America great again. See what I'm saying, Johnson? See how effed up this is? They want you to have a good side and a bad side to the Holocaust. A good side and a bad side to the Trail of Tears. I'm serious. Because if not, it makes one side look bad. One side was bad, motherfucker. Get what I'm saying? Well, that shooter in El Paso, yeah, it was rotten. It's disgusting. It's inhumane. It's horrific what he did. But you gotta remember, I mean, sometimes you gotta shoot stuff, you know. And he had a gun. And I mean, how do you thread the needle on that? So teachers are just going to have to avoid the subjects altogether because there's no way to walk the middle. Jeffrey Dahmer ate black people. But on the other hand, black people are delicious. I'm trying to figure it out. Do you understand? This is the country we live in. And then we're like, why can't we have Medicare for all or erase student debt or equity? Why can't I get my home appraised? Motherfucker, you are lucky that this shit hasn't just burst into flames spontaneously. We're that horrible, Johnson. We're that horrible. Everybody's just trying to get their money right, Johnson. Everybody's just trying to get their money right. Oh, man, because they realize, man, this ship is sinking, man. It's sinking and it's on fire. You're on a sinking ship that's on fire. It's covered in horse shit. And there's a pandemic on board. That's how bad this is. No, it's even worse than that. Because you don't even know it. You can't smell it or see it. It's just happening all around us. Every moment of every day. The shit is going down, Johnson. It's going down. And if you think the Republicans are just going to save you, so you run to the Republicans. Republicans, help me. Give me a tax break. Make life better. Hey, get out of here. We ought to care about the rich, you dumbass. Poor person. Get away from me. Don't touch me. Oh, black. Get out of here. Get out of here, Tim Scott. You and Kanye. You run to the Democrats. Democrats, please save me. Please save me. Give me some moral help. Help me out. Be humane. Be humane. You're the party of humanity. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. You scumbag, you poor bastard. You broke fool. We only care about our donors and corporate interests. Here's a rainbow flower. Don't forget to vote. That's what you have. It's even worse than that, though. It's even worse than that, guys. So, like, look, this thing is more than just rigged. Okay? It's more than rigged. It's deceptively, like, we got all these distractions to keep us from even focusing on the rigged part. Like, people kind of know when they go in a casino, they're going there to lose. So we already set out. We go, hey, before you go to the casino, you're like, I got $100. That's all I'm going to spend. You're not even going there to win as much as you're going there to have fun losing. Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm going to enjoy the moment. It's more than likely I'm going to lose all of this, but that's okay. I'd spend that much as the movies. Or on an unclean date. Hell, so you go in, no expectations. And if you win, Yay! But you don't expect to win shit, okay? That's how that works, man. But with America, with our politics, with our society, if you watch enough TV, your dumb ass will start thinking you got a shot. Yeah, you start thinking you got a shot. You read enough self-help books, listen to enough positive affirmations, you start thinking, hey, I can do this shit. You'd be like me, 40 years old, going, hey, I always wanted to start my own business. I'm smart. I got talent. I'm a good writer. I'm a good communicator. Maybe I'll they got this thing called YouTube. Maybe I'll put videos on it. Yeah, I do it after work. It's like I have 2 jobs. Let me do that for 4 or 5 years. Then if I build up an audience, we'll see from there. Stupid shit. You know? Dumb. Don't know anybody. Have no friends. Have no money. Have no chance. Should have thought of that at 22, man. You got kids and a wife. What are you doing? You go to the casino with $100, you think you're going to win? There's a scene from Casino where Robert De Niro, Lester Diamond, he hires like this local guy, this local kid or whatever, who's a part of like the local people that are like run Las Vegas or whatever. And the kid he hires is an idiot, complete moron. And his job was to watch the machines because they got a lot of people coming in, tampering with the machines and rigging them so that they can win, okay? So, like 3 machines all broke. All three machines, people won, okay? That's what it was. It was 3 wins, 3 jackpots on 3 different machines. And Lester Diamond's first is like, what the hell? What the hell? There's 3 machines hit jackpot. It's like, you didn't realize that someone had rigged those machines? And the guy's like, nah, I didn't realize someone rigged the machines. He's like, hold on. Rob De Niro can't believe what he's saying. He's like, what? What? You don't tell me you didn't know. Don't fucking. You know, he does that Rob De Niro thing. Fucking, don't you. You know, does that. He's like, nah, I didn't know. He said, you didn't know those damn machines were rigged? You didn't know someone got those machines? He said, no, I didn't know. It's a casino, boss. Sometimes people gotta win. Rob De Niro looked him in the eye. He said something like this, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, the reason you know they were rigged is because people won. That's how you know. 1 machine, maybe. 2 machines, never. 3 machines, impossible. He said, if you're not smart enough to know the game was rigged, if you didn't know these people had rigged those machines because they won in this rigged game, they're already rigged, dummy. We rig them. If you didn't know these people rigged those machines in order for them to win, you're too stupid to. You're either in on it, that's it. You're either in on it or you're too stupid to be here. Either way, you're a liability. Get the hell out of my office. The game is rigged. The game is rigged. For those of you who think, oh, the over the horizon, there's this party called the Democratic Party. There's these good people that really mean well. They want to do what's right for the folks. They want to do the right thing, Johnson. They're working on our behalf. I give you this story. Now, this story was sent to me by a friend. She sent me this story. She said, hey, Tim, Black, here's a story no one's covering. You should cover it. Only one person's covering it. I said, okay. I looked at the story. It's the Ed Buck trial. Now, I want to give a shout out to Jasmine Kinnick. because she's covering this because she is tough as nails. Give it up for Jasmine Connect. Please give it up for her. She boldly goes where most people would never, ever want to go. And I'll keep it at 100. She said, I am Jasmine, JASMYNE.com. I am Jasmine. Jasmine with a Y. Okay. And the story of Ed Buck, folks. I think a couple years ago, I did one segment on it. I'm trying to tell you, I covered the George Floyd case. From bell to bell, the entire thing. It gave me problems. Hearing about this man about my age going through these things, dying the way he died, really affected me. But it wasn't just that. Of course, it was the cops and the 3 cops that helped, the lies, the deceit. Everything about the case sat wrong with me for a long time. Well, that case, the George Floyd case, as horrific as it was, it's nothing compared to the travesty, which is the Ed Buck trial. Folks, the Ed Buck trial is a disgusting piece of, woo! I was going to cover it. Like, just go over it. I was going to print out some of the meetings from day 2 or day 3 or whatever it was. What day was that? Of the copious notes that were taken by Jasmine Canick. I was gonna talk about it briefly. The notes about the Ed Buck trial are so graphic and disgusting and unsettling. The things he did to these men who were drug addicts, that he plied with drugs, videotaped them, and did things to them while they were in various states of consciousness and unconsciousness. Now, first of all, let me back up. Ed Buck is a big-time billionaire guy or something, rich guy, activist, sponsor of many Democrats, a lot of political campaigns. Yeah, he's a big-time guy in California. Hollywood, California, Johnson. Big name, guys. This guy was like everyone's like big friend. Like he'd come through with money and just help candidates run their races, and he'd just contribute. He'd go to fundraisers and events, these $1,000 dinners, you know, those deals in the Hamptons or what have you. He'd be one of the main people at those fundraisers that you hear about, that Kamala might go to, or Hillary might go to, or, you know, various other Democrats on the A-list team. Oh, everybody knows this guy. He's that big, man. He's that popular. He's that loaded. Turns out Ed Buck was killing people. Yeah, he killed like 2 people. OD'd them in his Hollywood Hills apartment. Hollywood Hills flat or whatever it is, okay? And there are other men who escaped barely. Okay? What I'm telling you is this guy would tie people up, put nooses around their neck, videotape them, whip them, all types of crazy, wild drugged. Okay? What's even worse about it, and frankly, guys, I'm not going into detail, because my channel would just get yanked off YouTube. It's that bad, Johnson. I mean, there's a video of Jasmine Canick on Roland Martin's show talking about it. And she kind of explains it herself, some of it. All I'm saying is that this ain't something you want the kids to ever hear. Like, now, if they told schools they didn't want you to hear about Ed Buck, I'd understand. But hell, if they talked about Ed Buck in Texas, they probably want to teach the good side of Ed Buck. Yeah, Ed Buck tortured black people. Got him hooked on drugs and basically was trafficking black men. But hey, on the good side, on the upside, they had a good workout. I don't know, because, they got to thread the needle. They can't pick a side in Texas. It's a rule. What I'm trying to tell you guys that Ed Buck is a horrific story, and no one's talking about it. You won't hear it discussed in mainstream media much. The Black News Channel did a four-minute segment that was so whitewashed, I thought I was watching the Rachel Maddow show. Or maybe Fox and Friends. I mean, it was that bad, Josh. I mean, so, folks, it's the worst thing. I don't even want to cover it for my own mental health. I don't want to cover this shit. I don't remember. Like, if something happened to me, I don't know, I don't remember, and I ain't trying to remember by listening to Ed Buck, hearing about Ed Buck. I mean, the guy videotaped the shit he did. People died. And the kicker of it all is, he's got two defense attorneys. One is Darden, two black defense attorneys. One was Darden, who was in the OJ thing. One is another guy who looks like he wanted to be Johnny Cochran, but he put on some weight. Look, I understand that Darden, now, like, he just finished representing the man who killed Nipsey Hussle. But he quit that job because people were giving him death threats. So Christopher Darden, that's his name, Christopher Darden. So, like, he's not a guy who turns down any clients. So he's getting paid like $1 million. So he's defending Buck. And he's up here saying, well, these people are drug addicts. Sometimes drug addicts OD. Hey, this guy had the gout. It wasn't Ed Buck's drugs that killed him. It was the gout. This guy, look at him. He couldn't walk a flight of stairs. Come on, Judge. Tying him up and playing horsey, hide the horsey. That had nothing to do with it. The three shots of meth administered on camera without the guy's permission, while he said, please stop. That doesn't mean anything. These are the games they play. Grown people play grown games. It all brings me back to this. No one's talking about it. No one's discussing this shit, Johnson. It's nowhere. You can hear a pin drop out this motherfucker. If there was a canister, Johnson, and inside it was all the coverage of the Buck trial, if you drop the pin in the bottom of the canister, it sound like this. Because there'd be nothing in it, Johnson. Because there is no one covering it. And no one's covering it because they don't tell on their friends. Yeah, if this was, like, these are the people that were championing the Me Too movement. Those same people. No one's covering this. Ed Buck is a disgusting bastard. And Ed Buck gave a lot of money to a lot of people. Meanwhile, he was killing black people. He was trafficking and preying upon sick black people, black men, all black men. Not a peep from the Me Too movement. And all the people that he gave money to, none of them gave their money back. I think Jasmine was the one that pointed out that back when Harvey Weinstein was, becoming popular for his sexual harassments and rapes, people started giving back money that he gave them, giving it to charity. No one's giving back any money that Ed Buck gave them. And this guy killed people. But he killed the right people. Black men who are LGBTQ and with drug problems. So that's it, man. I'm not gonna cover that story, man. But it just furthers my theme of my show tonight, which is the game is rigged, Johnson, because the game is rigged. You may not think it is. You may think, oh, if we just do this one thing, you know what it'll take doing that one thing and 100 other things. People get us riled up. If we do this one thing, everything's gonna change. No, it's gonna take that. That's good. Don't get me wrong. Every little bit counts. But folks, there is no kill shot on this shit. There is no one-hitter quitter, fam. This ain't gonna be just one thing, fam, that gets this all done. It's gonna take all of us doing a whole lot for a long time to change this shit. Because this game is rigged. That's what rigged means. And as long as we got people taking money, and as long as we got people going, I'll just get mine for now. Because this thing, it's like a science fiction movie. You walk in, it's this huge, huge ship of corruption, of lies, of deceit. It's like, music just plays, it's just like, wow, this is a lot of nonsense. This is evil. Huge evil everywhere. This is how in the hell it's so much that some people just look at all of it, lean back, get out the rolling papers or pull out their hookah. You know what I'm saying? And just say, man, fuck that, man. Oh, man, fuck that, man. That's crazy. Hey, it's that bad. It's that bad, Johnson. And I'm not saying we don't try. I'm not saying we don't try. I'm not saying we don't do everything we can do. We owe it to our kids to try. We owe it to their kids to try. But this destroying each other shit, might want to pause that. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing any one of us singularly or individually going to do that are going to change this shit. It's going to take time. It's going to take a whole lot of people and a whole lot of effort and a whole lot of other people feeling uncomfortable. And it definitely is going to take more than people being civil. Now, it may take courageous or courage, but civility ain't going to get it done. And that's what Jeff Bezos likes. Wants everyone else to be civil while we suffer. Be civil while we're screwed. Be civil while the whole thing goes to hell. And meanwhile, he'll be on the fucking moon. All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. I guess we'll wait for phone calls. It's really not a phone call night, I guess. I guess not, Johnson. Any comments in Super Chat? Q&A? Anybody ask anything? I'm just saying, guys, this is what I've seen, Emerson, screw civility. I got better things to do. Screw civility. I feel you. Screw civility. I do have a couple phone calls. I'll take those. What the hell, Johnson? 205, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
My name's Neil, and I agree with the things you're saying about everything is rigged. The news is totally corporate owned. We're not ever going to get news that matters to us. That's the way I say it. I don't know how you feel about that part of it, but
I agree, man.
I think most of us like to think that we have some kind of input that matters, but I think it was Thomas Jefferson said God saved my country from a two-party political system, and it's the impoverished people, the working class, people that are trying to claw their way up to have a better life. They're just being bounced back and forth between these two ideologies, and we keep getting, I don't think we're getting better government. I think it's getting worse and worse. And I've voted every way you can vote in my lifetime. That's what my dad, he said the same thing. He said, I just don't feel like we're getting anywhere with this system. And I believe that too.
Yeah, Neil, you sound like me, Neil. We sound very similar on this, man. I wish it wasn't the case, man. Give it up for Neil with the phone call, man. And your dad sounds like a smart man. And look, it's not that I want things to be different, but I don't know when that's going to happen. And I'm not here to lie to you. It's just, Jesus, I just raised you 3 stories. We got a billionaire basically paying people to be nice to each other. Not be courageous, actually, and change this shit, but to be quiet and just get along. We got another story of a rich bastard in Hollywood killing people, and his friends won't even say shit because he's a rich guy. They took money from him, and it makes him look bad. So their personal appearance with this guy, or them not wanting to be seen or affiliated with this guy, is more important than justice. And then of course, there's Texas, where they don't want to teach the kids all the ills of our society so that they don't get repeated. They just want their kids to be ignorant. That's the way we make it better. We don't talk about it. Success. All right, so we're going to the next call. Thank you, Neil, for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. 213. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Sam, a.k.a. the Khaleesi. How you doing?
I'm good, Sam. What's up, sis? What's up with you?
You should have known when you said fuck civility, I was going to come out of somewhere.
Right.
No, man, I agree with you, though. Like, everybody wants you to sit around and be nice, but nobody's doing anything to help the people. Like, what's coming nobody from the top is coming to save us. We got to get together as a group of American people and start organizing together to make this stuff better for all of us, because separately, it's not coming. Like, we vote for people, those people are our people, and then they get in office and they're like, campaign promise, who said that? So at this point, we got to go and talk to the people who are with their heads down, not paying attention to what's going on. I know the gentleman was just saying, like, we don't get the real news. We don't. That's why people watch you on YouTube, Tim, and that's why people check out the Reset Race show to learn some stuff. And for those of y'all who do know something, maybe you need to become the news to your friends and neighbors. So if you know more than the average person, you got to become the news. Like, we got to go back to the old school days. And I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of time, Tim, but you know I'm a historian. So the first reparationist was named Callie Howe. After slavery in 1865, this woman went and organized 300,000 former slaves on trains. There's no reason we can't figure out how to organize our people on the ground in this day and age. So we just got to figure it out. That's all I got, Tim. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Wow.
It's up to all of us.
Well, look, guys, thank you, Sam, for the phone call. Give it up for Sam, y'all. My sister, the Khaleesi. She's 1/4 the part of the Reset Race podcast, Actify Press, putting it down, also with Bitter Dose TV. They drop it. Folks, go follow them on YouTube. Follow them also at actifypress.com, and they got great content. So, yeah, that's the real shit. One more time. All right. That was a great surprise, man. That's what I'm talking about. I say, it's going to be a short night tonight because I ain't in for the heavy lifting tonight. But then Sam calls up and gives me energy. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump out to 707. 707, You are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, this is Sean. I'm glad I caught your show. So I had a question. And it's sad to say that you're practically the only leftist podcaster that I listen to that talks about reparations. And I'm glad there's at least someone out there talking about it. And I'm greatly in favor of it, but I do have some questions regarding it because I never, even back when Kyle Kalinske used to talk about it, he would never bring up what would be enough. Is it a recurring payment? Is it a flat out payment? And how is it quantified? Do we do the math on how much work should have been paid for? Is there any room for speculation for hours you could not account for? I never and I have to include you in this. I and maybe you have talked about this. I could be wrong because I don't listen to your podcast nearly enough. Maybe you have talked about this, but I never hear about the methodology of instituting reparations.
Okay, but first of all, well, thank you for the question. I'll answer it to my best of my ability. That's really not a question people should call up and ask a show about it. I think it'd be better to do reading on your own, but I know how it is. People don't have time to necessarily read. I'm still going to refer you to go to the Active Fire Press website, activefirepress.com, where it's actually written out. There are books. I've had professors on this show that go into detail about this. They are the true subject matter experts on the issue. And there have been a number of professors, economics professors, who have broken it down to what the actual costs could be. Recently, one of those doctors is Dr. Sandy Durrity. He appeared on the Sam Cedar Show where he went into the same question that you asked. It's in the trillions. It's in the trillions, and that to me is being that's me being modest with the amount of money, because it could go much higher into the quadrillions if we tacked on interest. Because you got to look at it, you got to say, well, hell, there was slavery for what? 300 years, 250 years, something like that. And no one ever got paid. So that's a lot of work, right? For, a lot of people never got compensated for their work, and then that work accumulates. The profit from that work accumulates. And if you add that all up, that's astronomical numbers. So I would say to go to Active Fire Press and get some actual numbers on it. But the other side of it is, hey, we're not asking you to pay it. And we're not asking me to pay it. We're not asking citizens to pay anything. Like Japanese folks who were given compensation for being imprisoned in internment camps, they didn't go to door to door with a hat and take money out of your paycheck. This is a government expense. These are government impacted offenses to black people. So this is a government thing. America will not be the first country or the last country to compensate people that it wronged. So that's the other thing. So I think those are the two major points I wanted to make with your question. And to also, once again, to suggest you go read folks who know more and more. Dr. Sandy Durrity was the professor's name I meant to mention. Dr. Sandy Durrity. And once again, they got a formula for this. Now, the H.R. 40 bill isn't studying how that might be done, how it might be allocated. But you have to understand this. In America right now as we stand, black people are about 13% of the population. We own about 2% of the wealth. That's because of direct things that the government did, direct policies, whether they be Jim Crow, slavery, whether it be mass incarceration, whether it be redlining, whether it be no access to the New Deal, no access to the Homestead Act that white folks got. The only people paid for slavery or compensated for slavery were slaveholders who lost their slaves. The only people paid for slavery or reparations for slavery were the slave owners who lost their slaves, which is crazy, right? So there's a lot of foundation for this. People who don't agree with it tend not to be educated on it. Those that are acting in good faith, that's been my experience. Those who are operating in good faith tend to see it like, wow, okay, yeah, I see where this will be, you know, something that needs to be rectified. But back to that 2%, that 2% of wealth that black people have, that's a byproduct of the policies of the United States government. So that's an infraction on black people, man. So if white people own 60% of the U.S. wealth, and black people have been here 400 years, own only 2%, universal programs that help us all are not going to change that dynamic. Now, if you're one of those people that think, so what? I guess the conversation is there. But if you're a person that says, hey, first of all, why is 13% of the population only own 2% of the wealth? Why does the average black family only own 10% of the average white family? The wealth of the average white family. If you start asking good faith questions to yourself about that, and if you stop protecting your fucking party, if you stop defending your favorite candidate, if you have the guts to be real and honest, forthright, reasonable, you gotta say, man, there's something wrong there. Something bogus with that man. Unless you're one of those people that think that black people don't deserve shit and that we just don't try hard enough. And now you become a bullshit conservative Republican. So either be on the left or be on the right or be somewhere, but I suggest people become educated. All right, that's it. And once again, for questions like this, I suggest people read From Here to Equality is a great book by Dr. Sandy Durrity and Miss, name escapes me, Kristen Mullins. It's a great book. I have the book on my shelf over there. People a lot more smarter than me, a lot smarter than me, have taken years out of their lives writing about this, researching about this. There's all this information out there. Don't leave it up to a commentator, whether it be Kyle Kalinske, who obviously doesn't give much of a fuck about this issue, or Tim Black, to give you the skinny on it. Go to the Reset Race podcast. Go to ActiveFirePress.com. Read a book by economists at Duke University by the name of Dr. Sandy Durrity and Kirsten Mullins. And you'll find out a lot more. All right, thank you for the call, Johnson, and thanks for the opportunity. Okay, I'm going to jump down to 708. 708, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? $708. All right. 770, you're live.
Hey, Tim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Who's this?
This is Nathan from Atlanta.
What's up, Nathan?
Hey, so I'm just going on the coattail of the last caller who called in about reparations. When I talked to my grandfather, he just passed away a few years ago. He served in World War II. And when I was a child, he explained to me that what happened with the Jewish people, how they got reparations and the Native Americans got their reparations and things like that. When he came back out of war, he didn't receive his benefit, you know, and he was back in Jim Crow again. So that the wealth and equity that other people built up and they withheld from black people, every illness that black people are suffering is a link back to we didn't get reparations and protections and special laws in place to protect us from, you know, the ills in life. You know, reparations is more than just about money. It's about protection as well. You know, other laws in place to help us from getting and taken advantage of from other groups, corporations, the whole nine yards, healthcare. And you really can't, about progressives, I listen to every progressive and liberal out there, and you can't have justice, even the climate justice, without repairing and doing something about one of the greatest injustices in the world, what happened here. You know, I'm not about to serve in the military when every generation of my family that goes back from centuries has been mistreated, over and over again. Like, if you look up the Harrison book, we have a book on Amazon about slaves in Virginia, from the tobacco fields, from everywhere. It's the most documented acts against humankind I ever witnessed in my life. If you go down to Montgomery, Alabama, you see all the hundreds of lynchings down there. And I travel across the United States, and everywhere I go, you see land mass and farmland that was acquired and given to people. And throughout the centuries, they built so much wealth that it's hard for me to compete. Most of my coworkers who make the same amount of money, but most of their parents are millionaires. And I can't. That's hard to compete against. So I just want to let it be known out there about that. You have a long way to go, and not talking about it is the issue. My political black leadership, they don't talk about it. HR 40, that's kind of like a joke to me, because you don't need, after World War II, they didn't need to study that Jewish people in Europe need reparations. They just rebuilt. Keep in mind, Europe was destroyed after World War II. In World War One, everybody knew about what reparations were, because Germany had to pay it to other European countries after World War One. So they know. It's actually a website still intact that is, still there. Organization over there in Europe for Jewish reparations, for other country reparations they can go to, and that they know what the solution is, but they just refuse to acknowledge it because the same system is still in place.
Yes. Nathan, I want to thank you for the phone call, man. It's important. I want to thank Nathan for that phone call, man. That was a great phone call. And he touched on some important points. One of those being, like, this information is all over the place, right? Pick a thing, right? Pick a thing. Pick lynching, for instance. I have to, see, this is the fault of our public school systems and our pop culture. People look at lynching like it was this one-off thing that happened every once in a while. Yo, you live in a community. How long would it take for people to randomly be killed in your neighborhood before you moved? Would you move after one person was killed? Not just killed. Someone came in someone's house and said, grab that nigga, and dragged them out the house, beat them, cut pieces of their body off, and left them on display for the world to see. The whole point was to terrorize people, to make them leave, to make them docile or leave. The cops were in on it. Or they looked the other way. They were either complicit, actively involved in it, or they looked the other way. That's how you end up with black people. How you think black people got from North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi to California and New York? Why do you think they did it? There wasn't no bus, motherfucker, to take them. Why make the trek? Why leave your home and everything you have and go someplace you've never been? Wasn't no internet. There was no orbits. No place to read reviews about how great the city was going or wherever you were headed to. No virtual tour ability. Like, people just left. They had no choice, man. They left for what was on their backs. Sort of like, folks, I've heard stories of people in Cuba leaving Cuba with what they could keep in one bag. It's not just slavery. I get dumb fucks all the time writing me saying saying, I could read you a message right now of a very arrogant white guy who wrote me last night this long email about how dumb reparations was. Because he don't give a fuck about black people. He don't care about how we got in this situation we're in. He looks at LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey and goes, y'all seem good to me. So, like, so there's various aspects of this we could look at. We could talk about it. I want to encourage my people to become educated, to not just look at slavery, but look at slavery, but also look at the other issues. Look at redlining, man. I was fighting against that in the 90s. That's still a thing. That's still a thing now. People are like, what? Or, I don't understand. Banks say, anybody who lives in this area, don't give them loans for homes. I don't know about you, but in order for me to get a home, I had to get a loan. Anybody in this, they threw a red line around sections and said, don't give bank loans to these people. Those people in that zip code are black. That's redlining. It ain't rocket science. And if you have institutions systemically discriminating against people, that's limiting their ability to pursue happiness. In the country they built for free. And there are people going, I don't understand. What's the big deal? Well, if that happened to you and your grandparents, maybe you would say, hey, that's kind of a big deal. They wouldn't give grandpa a bank loan. And when they gave him one, it was higher. And then they foreclosed on him without cause. Yeah, you give a fuck then because it's you. And that's America. And what makes it even worse now, it ain't even about a person being ignorant or a person being an asshole. We have entire state senators like Texas that don't even want white kids to know what's up. And worse than that, they don't want black kids to know what's up either. So they just want people to be fucked up and not understand at all what's happened and to blame the people that are now behind the eight ball for their own situations. There's personal responsibility, and then there are things that a person cannot defeat on their own, right? There's certain things like clean water is not an issue that I can personally solve by myself by pulling myself up by my bootstraps and being nicer to people and holding doors and learning how to speak the King's English better. Like, that's not going to change that they're dumping toxins and waste in my neighborhood because it's cheap, which pollutes the air, which lowers my life expectancy. It's not going to change the food deserts. So these are all important things, man. And it's like they don't even want the young people to even have a chance at reflecting on it or knowing about it. I mean, we have an internet, that's true. But in order to look up stuff, you got to be aware stuff is there to look up. Like, even if you say, okay, they're not taking the ability for you to learn this stuff if you go on your own. But in order to want to learn something, you have to know it exists. And that's what they also want to take that away from us. So I don't want to stay on it all night. It is what it is. The game is rigged. It's rigged against us. It's rigged against you. I mean, it's a lot of things they don't want to teach us. I don't remember them wanting to teach how little kids were being worked like grown-ass men in factories. I don't know. Was that taught? Is that taught? That corporations were using little children like there were no workers' laws defending workers, so they worked the shit like you see the black kids in the mines in South Africa. You see that shit, right? That was America. That was America. Like, I don't know if they teach about that. People were just fine with it. The corporations were just fine with it. The people weren't fine with it, but the corporations and a lot of the politicians were just fine with it. Like, sometimes kids got to lose their fingers and arms and legs. No paid time off. No 40-hour work week. No benefits. Can't do it, we'll find somebody that can. Excuse me. Kickbacks out your check. We'll hire you, but for the first couple of weeks, give me a cut of your pay. But I ain't got to hire you then. Get out of here. No blacks allowed. This is all legal. Last hired, first fired. All legal. So it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing, Johnson. So the whole thing is rigged, man. This is all of it is rigged. This whole system is a grift. And it's going to take all of us, a lot of us, it's going to take all of us, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too big for just one person, one group of people, to deal with this alone. That's why I question a lot of people. It's like, oh man, let me just inform all the, everyone needs to be informed. Everyone needs to know what's going on. Everyone needs an opportunity to be a part of this. The more, the better. But we can't water down the message, and we can't say it so it's nice. Ed Buck is a horrible fucking story. There is no nice way to tell you the Ed Buck story. There's no nice way to say his friends protect him. There's no nice way to say that corporate media is not even covering it. He did unspeakable things to people who were vulnerable. He drugged them. He videotaped it. He did that. People died. He's hiding behind his money and his power and his proximity to power. And there's no nice way to put that. And that's a great representation of how America's history is to all of us in different forms. All right, guys. So anyway, that was a lot. That was a lot, man. Yeah. What we want to do about it? What we going to do about it? Okay? I say we got to have an inside-outside game, man. We got to do both. We got to put pressure on these people. My problem is people don't want to take the risk. They don't want to run the risk. They don't want to be we can't even get people to talk about, we can't get people to discuss things in good faith. I wish it was better. It's not, y'all. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. Seriously. That's enough. That's enough for tonight. Email us at clientcare@10blacktv.com. Shout out to the great Jasmine Knick for a great coverage of the Ed Buck story. You're a trooper. You're a soldier, sister. I applaud you. Respect. She's not only covering it like I'm covering stories, she's actually there at the trial, in the courtroom, listening to this horrific shit. So shout out to her. Shout out to the Texas senators who don't want their kids to know the Klan is bad. We're going backwards, yo. See, this is what happened. A lot of good old boys said, uh-oh, you got Obama in there? Obama? These blacks got too uppity. Let's take it back. Let's bring it down a notch. Let's make it worse. That's what happened with the voting rights, right? Right? Isn't that what happened? Is anybody delusional enough not to get this? That's exactly what happened. A lot of white men and a lot of white women a lot of their cohorts who do their bidding, who are black or whatever as well, and Asian and others, depending on how you fill out your census, said, hey, man, the blacks are getting a little too uppity. So they stripped the Voting Rights Act, make it harder to vote, make it so the students can't learn shit, and minimize the impact of race and say, hey, we gave you Obama. We good now, as you were. And that's it. Biden ran on Medicare for all, not Medicare for all, but broadening health care, lowering the age for Medicaid, somewhat of a reduction of student loan. Just saying. Where's the shit at? Now they talk to me about parliamentarians. They're talking to you about they can't do something about the filibuster, and they really would if they could, and we're going to try our best, and we're going to do the thing, and all that other nonsense. And that's why I say the whole thing is rigged. You can't put it in a nice way. There's no nice way to put this. It is what it is. I got nothing but love for you. Go to Real Tim Black on all his social media systems or whatever the hell. Hope things will be fine. We got that copyright strike. I hope that we can combat that. I have the receipts. I bought the software. They don't give a shit. But we'll see. We'll see, you know? We'll see. The whole thing is rigged, man. It is what it is. Don't lose sleep over it. Hug somebody, kiss somebody, tell them you love them. Don't lose sleep over it. It's going to be here tomorrow. Did I get my one call? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's time. I'm not taking the time. You didn't have to do that. All right, guys. I'm out. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.